Hello, this is Toby and I'm doing Sam's digipak audience feedback. So overall I actually really like the digipak. I think it's very visually interesting to look at and there's a nice play of colours and fonts and things like that. Delving into the front cover, I think the image is actually very interesting, and I like that what I think she's done is taken the same image twice and then layered it and moved it down and then lowered the opacity, and I think that makes for a really interesting and intriguing sort of cover, which I think would be bound to interest most people if they're wandering through a store. I think that the use of the font is rather interesting, as well as the positioning as well, because it keeps the eyes as like the main focus, and it's a very intimidating kind of look, but it makes a very interesting look too. The font, the fact that it's like all scrapped paper and things like that, I think is very different, and it kind of adds an eerie looking vibe, which kind of fits with the rest of the digipak itself and the music video, because I've seen it. I don't really like the artist's name, the 5 Seconds of Summer, below the calm bit. I think its positioning and stuff is great. The font is fine. It's more just the color of it. I think it just blends in with the skin a little bit too much, but that's just a personal preference. I think the way that it was done on the spine, where it says 5 Seconds of Summer in white text, I think that's a little bit better personally, but that's just my criticism, really. Also, from what I've seen in real digipaks, they also tend to have like a label brand somewhere on the magazine, usually in like bottom left or bottom right. That wasn't there either, but those are my only two criticisms for that, really. Moving on to the back cover, I think the way that the song list was presented was a very interesting way of doing it. I like that they're all sort of like not in line, they're all a bit jagged and tilted and all that, and it's very interesting. And again, they used the same font with the torn looking paper look, and I think that makes just for a very intriguing style, really. And it goes well with the background as well, with the red sort of, I think it's water or like crumpled paper, I cannot tell personally, but regardless, it looks very interesting. It's a very visually appealing looking image. The use of the legal information at the back, so having like Universal and Hollywood Records and all the legal stuff below and the barcode and all that, is very professional. It's how they typically look as well. I think it's a very good job done there. And then basically everything else, so the image where there's the two people and the layered red photos overboard, I think looks very interesting, and the fact that the man is bigger, you can tell that I think he plays a more spooky kind of role, and you can also tell by just looking at the photos the fact that they're the woman, and it just makes a very intriguing, kind of scary looking image, and it's very well done. Then I like as well that when you move into like opening the digipak and you're in the inside, you have the two photos saying "Left my lover's lonely and you're the only one who makes me." Those two photos, I like that they add some symmetry to it, because you have the fire in the middle and then you have the two faces pointing opposite directions, and they're at similar levels and all that. I think it's very interesting. I'm not so sure about the text being on an angle, but maybe that's just me. I think it looks nice, but I would have done it straight personally. Maybe it made the font a bit more spooky looking, because it's a very like nice, articulate looking font, and don't know how I feel about that with all the spookiness, but regardless, I think it's cool. I like that the image of the man on the right is actually got a very, very faint layered image of him again, but doing a slightly different facial expression. Like you can see his teeth and things, which I think is pretty clever. Adds again another eerie vibe. The fire I think looks nice. If it was me, I probably would have changed the hue to look a bit more red colored as opposed to orange, just to blend in with the overall red theme that the digipak's got going. However, it is the inside of the album, not the outside bit, so it sort of works because it's different. You don't see them next to each other. So I do quite like that contrast as well, between the outer stuff being more like red and stuff, and then the inside being all like grayed out. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, overall, I would say it's a very, very good digipak. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.